Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is just a quick video for all of the newcomers to Storygraph. Just gonna break it down a little bit and get you a little bit familiar with the space. So after you make an account and do all the information, bada bing, bada boom, fill all that out. When you get into your page, you can actually go ahead and edit your profile, which is where I'm at. At the top, you see it's my username. You can do like a little blurb. You can give your links and stuff like that. I'm not going to scroll all the way down, but you can do that there. And you can actually upload your books from Goodreads. That is a thing you can do in the profile right at the top where I just clicked the little pencil. You can import your books from there, but if you don't have any from Goodreads, if you never added them, that is totally fine. But this is just what my page looks like. You can see in the corner that I have books that I read, books that I'm currently reading, and sometimes you'll get like a little bit of a blurb over here to the side as you use Storygraph more and more as you read books, implement them, rate them, that type of thing. And it'll give you more information as you add on, see I'm currently reading, recently I read, and my to read pile, blah, 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 reviews off to the side, did not finish, blah, 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 5-star reads, books that I've owned that I marked as owned. There's a lot more, but I just didn't feel like doing all of that. And usually when you're doing a challenge, it'll pop up here at the bottom. So let's go ahead and move on to the tab that's next to it. We're working a little bit differently. So we're going to click on these little people down at the bottom. And this is where you can actually have your community. So this is where you can look for usernames. You can do buddy reads. You can do read-alongs. There are book clubs. And just similar users. So looking at the information that they have, what books they've read and everything like that. So in the community feed, you can actually search up people's username or email. So I feel like this is a really good time if you're on Threads or Instagram or wherever platform you use. Connect with people on there. Like literally I posted a thing just to like build connections with people on Storygraph because I really didn't use it that much in depth. I just rated books, read them, and I put them here. And I got a ton of people to add their usernames, and I'm like, oh, thank God. So you can see like in the corner, you can start to follow people, befriend them. Sometimes it'll just say you can just follow them. Sometimes it can say you can add them as a friend. I don't know what the difference is. Not my problem, but you'll see them up in the corner of people that you follow, friends like that. And then you can start to see what books they're reading. So these are just some of the people that I've connected with from over on Storygraph, not Storygraph, Threads, that I've added just to see like what they're reading. And I feel like this is a good way too to kind of build your TBR if you're not sure what to read. If you and another person have similar book stacks, when you go to their profile, you can see what they're reading, maybe books that you might be interested in, etc., etc. It's just a really good place to start building your community and all those kind of things. So book clubs, you can create one. You can do that if you want to. And I guess like when you go over here to the community tab, you can look up book clubs too. I'm not sure. I haven't been part of a book club on here. So that's something that I'm not familiar with, but you can do buddy reads, all that kind of stuff. So moving on to the one in the middle, which is the metal looking thing. And this is where your stats would be. So at the top, if you want to add a challenge, you can, or if there's challenges that you have done before, they'll be like in the archives. And so at the top, you could add your reading goal. You could set your reading goal, a pages goal, or set an hours goal. Me, I don't have one for this year, so I don't care. The only thing that I'm like, this is just something that Storygraph has. It's called January Pages Challenge for 2026. And this is just reading a little bit each day. And I feel like that's more of an accountability thing than it is really a challenge. This is for those people, especially if you're, one of those little pain in the butts people who were probably dogging people on how could you read 100 books? That's impossible. If you just read a little bit a day, you can too. Instead of whining about it, do it. Like, just be about it, really. I'm going to delete this one. Read 20 physical books you already own. I'm just going to archive that mess. I'm just going to Yeah, we're not gonna have that because I already just want to do that. But that's really what will be here. And then moving on to the pie graph thing, circle. This is where your other stats will be. So like books that you've read, your to read pile, DNFs, owned books type of thing. It gets sorted by year. So if you're just now using it, it will just automatically be 2026. But for me, I've used it in 2025 before, and it keep track of your stats. From the year, it breaks it down to read books, average time to finish, depending on if you actually specify the dates. Me, I'm terrible at it. I'm doing a little bit better now. Pace, page number, fiction versus nonfiction, genres, format type, most read authors, languages, if you've read any books that are not in English or any language, number of books and pages, star ratings, blah, 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 blah. You can do a plus option, which is Storygraph Plus. And it says ratings per book type. So there's like certain things you can do if you do Storygraph Plus. Me, I don't care enough to do that, but I'm gonna put this back to 2026. And you can also just sort by month too, whenever you're looking at your stats. So like at the end of January, I'm gonna look at all of the books I read in January before moving on to February type of thing for a video later on this channel. That's really what you do. And then on the main page, let me fix that. On your main page, this is where you log your books. So at the top, you'll search your book. I'm just typing in letters, but you'll put in the book that you're currently reading. So actually, I'll put in Her Exception 2 because I'm literally about to go into that one. And when it says editions, just make sure you have your specific edition that you're reading it. So if you're doing audio, you're doing audio. If you're doing the physical copy, that's fine because the page number shouldn't be all that different. Some editions have different pages. As you can see, the digital has 186 pages, but the other digital version is 190. So just make sure it aligns up with your data. For me, I'll be listening to the audio version. They have 2 audio versions. Same narrator, same amount of time, so it doesn't really matter. I think I'm gonna do this one. Currently reading. And so then it'll start to track your progress depending on your start date. I'll start this later today, so I'm gonna keep it as is. And then from there you can track your progress. So then you can add in how much time you've listened to or how many pages you've been in, and you mark finished. That type of thing there. You could add notes or edit the date. You can fix that just in case if you got the wrong thing. But also under here for currently reading, you could pause it. Did not finish. We can move it to the to read list or just remove book off of the list permanently. You can also mark it as owned. So all of the little things that you can do here. So once you do that, you can go back in here. You can get information too. You see that the book has its cover. It also has the AI summary. I guess it's like a personalized summary too. You get the description. You get community reviews here. So if you're just like, oh, I'm not sure, you could check it out here to see based off like pace, plot or character driven, the different questions that come up when you do review a book. So it kind of helps those who have read the book or want to read the book to know how to navigate that. Off to the side, you can see you can browse similar books, review question bank. I've never done that before. I'm not sure what it is, but anyway, you could start a read along. You could do a buddy read. You could add missing information, report missing or incorrect information. So like if you know what the book is, if you wrote the book and some of the information is wrong, I guess you can go ahead and edit. You can always add the book to favorites. You can buy the book. And then over here in the corner, you can see, I can't like zoom in, but you can see who else is reading the book from people that you follow or people who have read the book, want to read the book. And at the top, you see it has like the different tabs. So not technically genre, but tabs. So the genre is obviously fiction, romance. But the other tags are like emotional, lighthearted, slow pace. Those are things that other people have put in towards that book. but everyone's is going to be different when you do your review. So I'm going to show you that next. And this is just really just showing you your to-read pile, your recommendations based off of what you like, what you read, popular this week books. And then there are also giveaways. So let's go ahead and jump into there actually real quick. So in giveaways, you literally just enter. Literally just scroll through books that you know you're interested in and having, and you can literally just click on it and enter in the contest. None of these really speak to me. Like, none of these books that I'm seeing so far are something that I would want or interested in, and doing their giveaways. You can see more. But yeah, they'll notify you if you've won or whatever. I'm just going to do entries, but these were giveaways that I have entered, so you'll just see like the books that pop up here of ones that you have done. So let's move on to review. I'm going to pull up the first one. Where's my first one? What am I going to do? I'm just going to put it in. Do the first one. And I'm going to see my review. When you get to your review after you're done with the book, it looks different because I'm on my iPad. On the phone, it's obviously condensed into a smaller screen, but you can rate it at the top. And you do it from 0 to 5. You can also do specific points, so 25, 5, and 75, which is great. You could add more information here. I was just very vague because I didn't want to give it away. It is a novella, so I felt like if I was going to say anything else, I was going to give it away. This is where you do your tags. So this is based off of what you think of the book and how it was for you. So for me, the mood is very emotional. That's pretty much it. It wasn't inspiring. It didn't have any adventurous elements in it, but it is an emotional book. So yeah, then you mark your pace of the book, what you thought about it. Is it plot or character driven? Do you find the characters lovable? Or does it focus on main flaws? Are the characters diverse? Is there strong character development? And then you could put themes and topics and tropes here, just for yourself, and also for others to help find similar books. But it says that your answer won't be publicly visible. And you can also add content warnings too, for any books that are kind of explicit and maybe not everybody wants to read those. So yeah, and then you'll just save it. Mine just says update review since I already did it. But that's really it for the page. I hope you liked this video. Hopefully this was helpful just to get familiar with Storygraph, using it. It's a really good app, website. It's just really good. I highly recommend it. I feel like there's just more range here. Also, I've never used my Storygraph. I made my account and I never used it. And every time I went on there to even try to like actually use it, it was so confusing and so frustrating and so old looking. It was always like, I can't. So literally, this is amazing. It's beautiful. It's Black owned. And they do have updates. I believe it's like bi-monthly or at least monthly. So sometimes the app can be down. So if you ever catch that time when they're down doing updates, just write it down in a notebook if you finish the book or whatever. Or also if you do keep a physical copy of book reviews and stuff like that, it's perfect for that too. While they do updates, which is really good. I love that they do updates. Even though sometimes I'll be like, dang, I can't add my information in. But it's always updated. It's evolving. But yeah, that's really all I have for this video. Hopefully you guys, this was helpful to you all. And until next time, stay magical. Bye.